Hello and welcome everyone to our another episode of ABAP on Cloud training with me Amrit. So in the previous session we saw our SAP BTP platform in detail. Now in this part we will move on to set up our BTP trial, and we will see the configuration and configuring ABAP on Cloud. We'll do the configuration part also in this particular session. So let's start. But before moving for BTP trial account, the one thing that we need to understand is the difference between environment, subscription, and instances. These are the three important things that we must need to understand before going for the trial account. Okay. So whenever we create our BTP account, business technology platform account, one thing we need to understand is the difference between environment, subscriptions, and instances. These are the three crucial things that we must need to understand. So what is environment? Let's discuss that part. What is environment? Okay. So an environment constitute of the actual platform as a service of the BTP that allows for the development and administration of the business applications. Okay. So an environment constitute of the actual platform as a service. It is the actual platform as a service part which allowed for the development and administration of the business application that we will develop on the BTP platform. Then what we see, if we talk about the environment, SAP BTP offers mainly three environments: ABAP, Cloud Foundry, and Schema. SAP BTP basically offers these three environments: ABAP, Cloud Foundry, and Schema. So if we talk about the ABAP, around 20 to 25% of the development of the BTP are done using the ABAP environment. Nearly 70% of the development is done using the Cloud Foundry. So this Cloud Foundry comes under our BTP training, okay, which we are launching soon, and you can purchase it on our account. So, and then this Schema, it offers around 5% of the development. The project that we are in the market, around 5% of them are developed using Schema. Okay. So earlier what we see is there was one more existing environment. So some existing customers are still using the Neo. Neo was offered by SAP earlier, but this is no longer offered by SAP. It has been removed from BTP. Earlier it was offered. So this is environment. Now what is a subscription? What is subscription? What is subscriptions? So here subscription is actually on top of BTP platform. Subscription is actually on top of BTP platform. So what we do here is we subscribe the services provided by the SAP BTP platform, and then we pay the rent amount to the SAP. So usually we subscribe or use the services provided by the SAP BTP platform, and for that purpose we need to pay a rent amount to SAP. We need to pay a rent amount to SAP. This is the simple meaning of subscription. So if we talk about our SAP BTP, SAP BTP platform offers lots of services. Let me reopen my another Gmail account. SAP Discovery Center. This is the hub where you can simply go and check all the services offered by SAP. You can see here. I'll just show you. Lots of things are there. BTP guideline framework, tutorials, and all these things. So here you can check the detail of everything. For example, let's say I'm looking for build code. See, build code is a service given by SAP. I can check ABAP. SAP BTP ABAP Environment. So all these services we can check that is provided by SAP on the Discovery Center. Okay. Then the third one is instance based services. So instance based services. Instance based services. Okay. So what are these instance based services? So these are the purest services provided by SAP, and what we see here is SAP, they provide these services provide a specific functionality like databases, connectivity, and authentication. Okay. Then what we see is each environment has its own organization. Each environment has its own organization, which is for users and applications. Each environment has its own organization for users and application. And in Cloud Foundry, so in Cloud Foundry, instances are created inside a space. So for Kima, instances are created inside a namespace. But for ABAP, we have some different stuff. So each environment has its own organization for users and application. If we talk about Cloud Foundry, instances are created inside a space. For ABAP, we don't need to create a space. For Kima, they are created via namespace. Okay. So these are the three clear things that we need to understand. Okay. Now let's talk about this Discovery Center that we have just opened. So SAP Discovery Center. SAP Discovery Center. Okay. SAP Discovery Center. So SAP Discovery Center. All right. So this SAP Discovery Center is the place where we can go and check the pricing for our ABAP environment. You can go and check the pricing for our ABAP environment on the top of BTP platform. So SAP Discovery Center is the place where we can go and check the pricing of our ABAP environment on the top of our BTP platform. So in this course, since we are only discussing our ABAP on cloud and RESTful application programming model, so we will go for our ABAP environment. Here we will go for our ABAP environment and we will check the pricing. So let's go and check the pricing of our ABAP environment. Okay, pricing. I will scroll down and prices. So it is available for Australia, Brazil, Canada, Europe, Japan, here for South Korea, US, lots of places. And you can see here unit price per hour. So per hour in euro it is 0.55, right, for 16 GB blocks, and hours of for runtime memory it is 1.92 euro. So this is the actual pricing of this BTP platform per hour, right, which we need to purchase. Otherwise we can directly go for the trial purpose. Trial has lots of limitations, so if we check the trial version, you can see here the trial version is only available for US and Singapore. Okay, and services plans for a trial accounts are intended for personal exploration, and access is open for everyone after registration. So this access is open for everyone, so whenever you'll go for that, you will see lots and lots of accounts there, lots and lots of account. Same stuff is also there. Okay, now let's discuss our SAP BTP ABAP environment. Okay, so move on to the third part of this video, which is SAP BTP ABAP environment. SAP BTP ABAP environment. Alright, so we will discuss this SAP BTP ABAP environment. Let me show an image to you. So I will open my documents. I will open my documents. This one, very important document. This is my SAP BTP cockpit. This is my SAP BTP cockpit. So in BTP, we will be using our SAP ABAP environment on BTP. Our SAP ABAP environment on BTP. Can you see here? And you can see that, and to start this BTP ABAP environment, the first tool that we will use is SAP BTP cockpit. So this is the first tool that we are going to use to start our ABAP environment on BTP. Okay, then we can use this ABAP development tools. So then we can use this ABAP development tools to connect the ABAP instance on BTP. So we can use this ABAP development tool to connect the ABAP instance to our BTP, and then we will start writing the code using our ABAP RESTful application programming model. So we will start writing the code using our ABAP RESTful application programming model. And behind the scenes here you can see our SAP HANA is the database. HANA DB is the database which is used to store the data. So BTP is by default using SAP HANA behind the scenes to store the database. Also, we can connect our ABAP environment. This is our ABAP environment with the lots of SAP BTP services. As we already know that our BTP provides lots of services, so we can also connect our ABAP environment with the BTP services, right? This is what our ABAP on cloud is all about. We will be doing the ABAP environment on the SAP BTP platform. We will be doing the ABAP environment on the SAP BTP platform. And here what you see, so what is my ABAP on cloud? ABAP on cloud is the infrastructure. It is the infrastructure provided on the SAP BTP platform. It is the infrastructure provided on the SAP BTP platform as a ABAP environment, where we can run our ABAP code on cloud. So ABAP on cloud is the infrastructure provided on the SAP BTP platform as a ABAP environment where we can run our ABAP on cloud or ABAP code on cloud. Okay, so this is the our SAP BTP infrastructure. You can see here easily, right? This is my platform. It is connected via BTP cockpit, where we will create our account. In the backend we have this ADT tools which is used to connect our Eclipse with the cloud part, and here RAP model is used to RESTful application programming model is used to perform the to write the logic, and in the backend our HANA DB is connected by SAP. Okay, so now let's move on how we can create our account. So how to create account on SAP BTP. How to create account on SAP BTP. That is our part that we need to discuss, how to create account. So what you see here is, if you already have a SAP universal ID, then it is perfect. You can directly use that. Otherwise you will have to create a new SAP universal ID. So how you will get that? Just go to sap.com. So sap.com, and here you can directly go for clicking on this user icon, and you can simply go for create your SAP account, and you can pass the detail, verify the email, and then you can use this universal ID to log into all the parts of this SAP BTP platform. Okay, now once you have this universal ID, so this will be my second step. Get the universal ID. Okay, then what we will do is, once we have our SAP universal ID, then what we can do is, then we can go to our SAP BTP cockpit. So then go for our SAP BTP cockpit, okay, to create your BTP trial account. So go for SAP BTP cockpit to create your BTP trial account. So how will you go there? So let me just show you. We will go for this link, https account dot hana trial dot on demand .com. You will go on to this link, and you will log in with your SAP universal ID. So go for continue button. And log in. Go for sign in. Okay, go for signing. Right, we will go for sign in. So you will see this BTP cockpit. So now if you have your trial account, you can directly go for trial account, or if you do not have your trial account, you will have to create your own trial account. So once you will create this trial account and you will go for that, you will see that this particular global account section will open, and here we will have to create a sub account. So sub account is a subset of the global account, and inside the sub account all our subscriptions are done. For example, our ABAP environment, business application studio, and all those things, build code. So inside this sub account we will be performing all the things. So you will have to create your sub account. So go for create, and you can go for a sub account, and you can create your sub account. So just pass any name, and you can select the regions. So you can see here two regions are given, and in the discovery center we can see here for the trial we can go for both the AWS on US also, and if you are using the Singapore, Microsoft Azure is also providing the ABAP environment, so we can go for this one also. Okay, so I have already created one sub account for my Microsoft Azure. I will directly go for that part, right? I will directly go for that part. Okay, now we will set up our development tool. So how to set up the development tool, let me just show you. So go for trial account and create a trial account on SAP BTP cockpit, and inside it create a sub account. If you still face issue, you can go for this, how to create a trial account on SAP BTP. You can see here you can use this particular all these things to creation of trial account, login, then you'll go for your SAP register, activate, log on to BTP trial. See here, log on to BTP trial, then you can verify, welcome screen, navigate, and then you need to create the sub account. So this is the next part of it, create and inside it create a sub account. Perfect. Once it is done, we will go for our setup of our development tool. So fifth, set up our development tool. Set up our development tool, which will be my fifth part. Set up our development tool. Now we will do the setup of our development tool. So we will go inside our sub account. So I am already inside my sub account, right? Then we will go for this service marketplace. So go for this service marketplace, and we will search for ABAP environment. So let's wait. Here you can see already ABAP environment is coming, but if it will not come in your section, you can search for this ABAP environment and go for it, right? Now what you can do is, once you are in ABAP environment, okay, now go for this create button. So go for this create button, and you can create a service. Okay, you can create a service and give a instance name here. So give a instance name. Okay, just pass the instance name, click on next button. So pass a instance name, click on next button, then this pop-up will come. So let me just show you. Since I have already created, I don't want to create it again, but I will show you. So SAP ABAP Amrit. Okay, next, see here, you need to pass here a email. So just go there and pass the email, right? Then you can simply click on the create button, and your instance will be created, right? Your instance will be created. So now I'll go back to cancel, since I have already created my instance, right? I don't want to create it again. Okay, so I will go for this ABAP environment. I will go for my subscriptions, as I have already subscribed. Let me just show you. Yeah, see here, one instance I have already created. There we were creating the instance. So let's go for this one. This is how it will look like once you will create the instance. This is my Amrit ABAP instance that I have created. Okay, now to set up your ABAP environment on the top of BTP, you will have to create a service key. There I already have one service keys, because I have already created, but you will not find any service key. So you will go for create button. Okay, you will pass a name, right? Here you will pass a name of your service key. Okay, you will pass a name of your service key and you will go for create button. So here let's pass a service key, let's the same thing, ABAP key, and just go for create button. By default the service key will be generated and you will see that the service key has been created already. So here this service key is very crucial. So how you will set up, go to this one, go to your service marketplace. So go to the service marketplace and search for ABAP environment and click on it, right, and go for create button. Create button. Go for create button. Create the instance, right? Create the instance on the ABAP environment. We need to create an instance environment, right? And once we have the instance, we need to generate one service key. We need to generate one service key. This is very important. This service key is very important. So this service key is very important. We must understand it and we must create it. Okay, so now once you will have the service key, this service key we are going to use with our ADT to connect our ABAP cloud. So go for this three dot and go for download button and download this service key, because this will be directly used. Okay, right? So this is how you will create your ABAP environment and an instance followed by a service key on the ABAP environment. Okay, now once we have our service key, let's discuss some important features before moving forward, because there are lots of misconception about our ABAP environment. So on cloud, so features for ABAP environment on BTP. What are the features for ABAP environment on BTP? Let's discuss that. One by one. Features for ABAP environment on BTP platform. Okay, so let's discuss that part. So if we talk about our BTP, so ABAP on cloud is an ABAP environment running on SAP BTP platform. Okay, on top of Amazon AWS infrastructure. So Amazon is the one which is providing the infrastructure as a service for our SAP BTP platform. And what SAP is doing, SAP has done the partnership with Amazon AWS, right? So this ABAP on cloud, it is a shared ABAP system in trial mode. So when you will open that, you will see lots of accounts are there already. Okay, so since it is with other ABAP trial system, we will see all the packages of other users as well, So this is what you are going to see. Then what you will see is with ABAP on cloud, no one can ever access the SAP GUI. You cannot access your SAP GUI using this ABAP on cloud. ABAP on cloud is completely different with our traditional ABAP programming. You cannot access the SAP GUI. Okay, no T codes are allowed here. So no T codes are allowed. No T codes are allowed. Also, we can't use our SAP GUI, our SAP GUI, okay, to connect with our SAP system, with our SAP system. So with ABAP on Cloud, no one can ever access the SAP GUI. No T codes are allowed. Also, we cannot use our SAP GUI to connect with our SAP system. Okay, right? This is not possible. Also, what you will see is we do not have the control here. We do not have the control to install notes, patches, and upgrades of the SAP system. We don't have the control over all these things, right? So we do not have the control. Then the next thing is ABAP on Cloud. What we'll see is ABAP on Cloud is just a ABAP environment. It is just a ABAP environment. Okay, it's not like a SAP solution. It's not like a SAP solution. What kind of solution that we see of SAP? Like S4HANA, right? This is not a SAP solution like ECC. So this is not a solution. It is just a ABAP environment. That is why we will never find SAP standard tables here. Tables here like Mara, VBAC, MKT, etc. All these standard tables we are not going to find in case of ABAP, because ABAP on Cloud is just a ABAP environment, right? So here we are only allowed to use DDIC objects which are market released. Here we are only allowed to use the DDIC objects which are market released. Okay, right? Then the next thing you will see is we cannot create everything like what we do in case of on-premise system. We cannot do kind of thing here, because here all the codes will be in form of classes only. All the codes will be in form of classes only. Okay, then the next thing you will see here is the ABAP on Cloud. The ABAP on Cloud only allows while listed ABAP statements no other ABAP statements can be used freely. Example, write statement, we cannot use that. Write statement. Okay. So the ABAP on Cloud only allows the whitelisted ABAP statement. We cannot use our traditional ABAP statement freely. For example, we cannot directly go for the write statement. So lots of things are there which will be discussed in the upcoming session. Okay. Then what you will see on ABAP on Cloud is we can create our packages under a standard package, standard package which is zlocal. This will be your standard package which will be available, and we can only create our packages under this one. Okay, then on this ABAP on cloud, the preferred programming model to develop the applications is RAP, so which is RESTful Applications Programming Model. RESTful Application Programming Model. We are going to use the RAP model for programming over this ABAP cloud. Okay, right? So this is the thing. Now how we will set up the ADT? So for that you need to just go to this particular on HANA demand. So just go for on HANA demand. Yes, go for SAP development tools. Just go for SAP development, go for ABAP, and here you can see ABAP development tools. So this site describes how to install and update the front-end component of ABAP development tool, which is ADT. So you need to first have this Eclipse platform. So what before that, just check what is your operating system. Then you will have to install the JRE. JRE is mandatory. Install the JRE or JDK version. Then what you will do is go for this Microsoft VC runtime, which is the third important tool. So install this Microsoft Visual C++ on your system, because it is mandatory for installing our ADT on Eclipse. This is really mandatory. Once you have this thing, then you can go for installation of Eclipse. You can go for this 2024-12 version, and you can download this Eclipse tool from here. You can directly download this Eclipse tool from here. Okay, you can directly download this Eclipse tool from here. Now once you have this tool, just copy this URL. Just copy this URL, and let me just show you Eclipse system. Let me just